Um, my lawyer has advised me that anyone can apply, and I've retained a lawyer to apply for guardianship. Once Malaya is served the documents, she can reply, and then it goes to court. At courts, through my lawyer, I will subpoena Malaya and Daniel to the stand to testify. Wow. And if they happen to choose to ignore a summons to appear in court, it can be held against them. Once at court, I'll get to ask the questions I need answered, like where are the children? Wow. Was anybody hurting them? And why didn't they just get a hold of me if they just needed a break? Or why wouldn't she have reached out to me? Because I would have gladly have taken them for visits to give her a break. Wow. That is a good move, because officially speaking, the children are still alive. So, of course, I think along very different lines, but this might be the right move to make. And I talked before about the O.J. Simpson case where, he was found not guilty in the court under Edo, but then Fred Goldman took him to civil court, right? And he was ordered to pay. I mean, he didn't, I don't know if he even paid anything, but he lost quite a few of his belongings, right? Like the trophies that he wound up stealing back with a gun that he had on him. And then that gotten him 9 years in prison. So if you don't, when there's injustice or when the system fails you, you know what? There are ways. And I think this is a wonderful thing. So what exactly will happen if they don't show up? That is my question, though. Because I have a feeling when it comes to Malaya, she may just not want to show up. I don't think she will. I don't see her, doing well on the stand. Of course, one must ask, why now? Why is this article from the RCMP, or I mean from the that new article? Why is it out now? Is that a reaction to Belinda? Becoming Jack and Lily's guardian will allow me to advocate for them and will bring answers as to what has happened. No matter if the children are alive or deceased, I will be the guardian who will love and protect them. These actions will help me to understand what has happened and whether the children are alive or not. Mm-hmm. They will have a guardian who will look out for them either way. I would also add that court rules state the default is to hold this trial open to the public, so hopefully the answers are given. That would be absolutely amazing, because, I'll say it right now. This hatchet job of an article tells me it's over. And I remember around the time when I gotten the same feeling about the Sebastian Rogers case. When you start to realize the actions of law enforcement no longer align with what they're claiming to do, right? When they talk about it's ongoing, it's very active, it's only verbal. And it's no surprise that Belinda just posted this video RCMP utterly clueless. Will this become a cold case? And this is when it becomes a problem when you have so-called regulated media, right? Because we are not going to see uh, a real opinion piece now by a major Canadian publication about what we have just been given. And from day one, I have detected a lot of deception within the statements from the RCMP. And I usually detect deception when it comes to official statements by public officials. Language is often very deceptive. When, but this, I didn't realize it would come to this, because they're trying to tell you there is no criminality, and they're giving you a bogus sighting by that Natasha woman, a 10-year-old in pigtails. And they have the nerve to add this into the article. So, in my opinion, the RCMP, they are watching. They have people who watch what's going on online, what people are talking about. So, when you have Durwood and his bogus story, maybe RCMP thinks, yeah, let's run with this. This is good. People are going to pay attention to this. You plant a little seed and it grows. And all of a sudden, before you know it, people will think, well, the kids are probably safe on a reservation somewhere. And this is similar to the Sebastian Rogers case. A lot has to do with the public perception. A lot has to do with where the public's focus is going. And if the public loses focus, pressure on law enforcement decreases. And this is them saying, go home, the show is over. They have no desire to go any further. I have to consider always that law enforcement may make certain statements because they want the suspect to feel safe. But when it gets to the point where it's getting dragged out and there is no there are no actions taken, there's no movement, and now, of course, they're talking about the polygraph examinations. I've talked about this already.
So there is where I stand right now. And I contacted the RCMP the day before yesterday to give them a heads up of what I was doing.
Okay, so a day before yesterday. That would have been on the 20th. And these articles came out on the 22nd.
Lily and 4-year-old Jack vanished more than 3 months ago. Hundreds of pages of just released court documents shed light on what police discovered. CTV late anchor Bruce Frisco has been pouring through it all and joins us with more in the News Center. Bruce?
Well, Todd, the information, as you say, it is contained in court applications filed by investigators for permission to conduct searches for things like phone records, banking records, video related to the case. This is all standard procedure. We're told a lot of the documents are heavily redacted, look just like this, a lot of stuff censored out, but they do include unproven statements made by police.
Right. All of this stuff is redacted, right? What about the CPS issues? Any of that? This new article has none of these things in it. that were in Lindsay's previous article. It's a complete change of tone. So my question is, could this be a reaction to Belinda giving the RCMP the heads up? So I call this damage control mode. And this is what we may be dealing with right now. This article, these articles, everything was cherry picked to take whatever they can to make it seem plausible that no, the children did not get hurt. Anything to convince the public. The polygraph examination, which is worthless in my opinion, based on the wrong questions being asked. I have talked about this 2 months ago. Then you have this bogus sighting of a 9 or 10-year-old girl with pigtails, and they're wearing shorts, right? And it was, what, 3 degrees Celsius or something like that at the time. And then what else did they have? And they're claiming no criminality. And what's also interesting is that in the beginning, they said, nope, there was no abduction. Now they make it sound like this could have also taken place, possibly by a family member, right? Is that what you've gotten out of it? I read part of it here with you guys, and I didn't really want to delve too much into this because it's red flag overload. Once I detect the intention behind something, I like to move to other areas, and the intention became very clear to me. What do they want from us? They want us to accept that things are gonna stop moving. How do they want to accomplish this? By convincing us to let go of everything that we've previously learned about the case.
Their impressions on what they found. So some basic facts. The children reported missing first at 10 a.m. on May the 2nd from their home in Lansdowne Station by their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Police were at the trailer at 10:27 that day.
All of this effort, all these channels that failed Jack and Lily. And Daniel, he seems happy now, right?
She told the cops she believed the children had wandered away from home, but the exact time for that is redacted. Lie detector tests were administered to the mother and the stepfather on May the 12th
What?
at the trailer at 10:27 that day. At 10 a.m. on May the 2nd from their home in Lansdowne Station by their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Police were at the trailer at 10:27 that day. She told the cops she believed the children had wandered away from home, but the exact time for that is redacted.
And this is a huge issue, people. That's a huge issue. So they don't even want people to think critically and examine any of the statements anymore. They want people to forget about that. It's amazing, man.
Lie detector tests were administered to the mother and the stepfather on May the 12th, and both passed. An officer noted, quote, at this point, in the investigation.
No, I don't consider that pass. If you have the right people conducting it, and the questions, I've said it before, were absolutely horrible. This tells us absolutely nothing. So I'm going to stay on the case, and as I've previously stated, I am less interested in what law enforcement does I'm more interested in what the people who know are saying.
Has known since the day Jack and Lily disappeared that he was a suspect. He's been their stepfather for more than 2
Okay, he was a suspect, and now what? Now he's in the clear?
years, living together in this trailer. Martel says that's why he has fully cooperated with police.
You, my God. And I can guarantee you that if this goes to court and my Belinda takes them to court for the guardianship, there will be a lot more that will come to light about mistakes that police has made. They spent over $1 million a day, but they let Daniel go back out there with his friends, removing crucial evidence, in my opinion. They got a search team leader who's so stupid. They have a search team leader who actually believes the kids have been hiding in the woods and surviving on their own the whole damn time. This is the epitome of inefficiency, people. Efficiency is it is a top priority to me. And the more cases I'm looking at, the more I realize that inefficiency, red tape, overlooked mistakes by individual law enforcement, um, so-called professionals, all of this can contribute to a case going cold. And then the damage control mode comes in. Then the public has to be held at arm's length, because they don't want the general public to be dissatisfied with their police force. And of course, if you have regulated media, it becomes very easy to do something like this. And Lindsay Jones, right? That's her name. Well, she wrote a good piece before, but now I'm pretty sure she's been told you need to basically make people forget everything that you've written before by coming up with something new. Forget all of this. Forget about the car coming in and out 6 times during the night, what the neighbor said. Forget about the fact that Daniel stopped answering questions. Forget about all of the things that you had written. And only highlight from the court documents whatever you think may lead the public to believe the kids are somewhere safe. Of course, it's easy to detect these patterns when you have recognized them a lot of times before, as I have. And when they're more worried about stating they have cooperated than actually appealing for the return of the children, it's always a bad sign. When somebody says, remember the guy who, killed his son, his 13-year-old son? I forgot the name. I recently mentioned it. Always they say, I'm cooperating. Is that really the right term? You want your children back, right? You're desperate. So what do you mean you're cooperating? Of course you're cooperating. That's a given. You wouldn't need to mention that. You want to put pressure on police. Go find them. Go find my son. Go find my children. Not, well, I'm cooperating. No, you would have a lot more motivation naturally than the police. You would bother them all the time. Have you found my son? Have you found them? Have you found them? this is not a matter of cooperation. Cooperation means that you overcome your own hesitance. And that hesitance is not expected if you're innocent and you want your children back.
Everything from my phone, doing a polygraph exam, and disaster.
God, this guy, man. If it wasn't so sad, it would be comedic. Seriously, it would be a. But you know what? His strategy worked. On the one hand, he gave us all of the. He gave me, him, his mom, and Logan told me everything I needed to know. But there's a reason why he does what he does, because it's worked for him before. And I think it's working for him now.
It's going to do, here you go, search everything, do everything you can for the kids, right?
Yeah, right, for the kids.
Freshly unsealed court documents detail how RCMP combed through bank records, phone data, and GPS locations. Investigators wanted to know the exact whereabouts of Martel and the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, in the days leading.
Should I jump back and forth? Okay, I was given until 7:50 timestamp.
And I do find it kind of odd that the following day, they contact the news for releasing certain documentation.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't have to do all this looking at the dates because she told us right now.
And today those documentations are released.
Partially released, and that's the problem. That is always a problem when things are redacted and we are only able to see something that shows everything in a certain light only and not the bigger picture.
I've had a chance to lightly go over them and see what's been posted out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of things that make me wonder just what's what. They stated in the beginning that there was no abduction. They do not believe there's any abduction, but yet the papers that are released today state that someone has spotted the kids walking on the road towards a gold color sedan.
And complete nonsense, but you know, that's so they're cherry picking this one so-called tip again to lead people to believe, you know, there could have been an abduction. So they're backtracking on their own statements as well.
If that was the case and if it was taken seriously, wouldn't that have required an Amber Alert?
Exactly. No, because it was on May 31st that woman stated this.
Absolutely. Right. All the statements that Daniel and even Malaya herself have put out, and all the stories that they have told, but yet the court papers that it shows to the police, they were a very happy, caring couple who did well for each other and for the children.
Yeah. And Daniel with his own statements and Logan with her statements revealed already how horrible it was actually at the house. So this is unbelievable. You know, if I was paying taxes in Canada, I would be really unhappy with what they're doing. Really unhappy. They spent all of this money, but they messed up so bad. It would have been very simple. These searches were not necessary, people. What was necessary, they should have watched Daniel from the beginning. Watched him. Dude, you cannot go out there. You can't go out there. And if you let him go out there, you follow him, you find a way to figure out where the hell he is. Of course, he made sure not to take his phone because he didn't want to be tracked. And then he would have led you directly to the place where he knew he dropped some evidence. And, sometimes I'm talking slow because I don't know what to say. Because this is so obvious. This is unbelievable. And wow.
So, like you, Sonny, I'm in a pretzel mode, and I really don't know where it leads. And I'm hoping by applying for guardianship, it would allow me to have further access as to what is going on in this case. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sending me this.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
No thanks. And yes, I believe that was exactly what happened. That on the 20th, Belinda gave RCMP the heads up. A day later, they went to that woman, Lindsay Jones, I believe, and they sat down with the head editor or whoever else and made the decision. This is what you're going to publish now. You've done a great job with your previous article, so people trust you. They're going to trust you when you publish some complete horse shit. And she went against her journalistic integrity, if there's even such a thing. And they went on damage control mode. That's what happens with regulated media. Whatever law enforcement wants them to publish, they will. And now, how much money did they spend on this? This could have been a very cheap. I'm just one person, and I figured out exactly what happened. So, Chance Harbor, yeah, somewhere around there. That's where I believe the children were taken. And the evidence is long gone. Again, who were Daniel's friends that were with him at the pipeline? And mind you guys, now, in the future, we may get a few performances here and there. Probably by Daniel. Daniel taking advantage of his newfound fame. Similar to Chris Proudfoot. Always make sure never to forget that the earlier statements are the most valuable ones, right? So when I see Chris Proudfoot yapping on Granny's watching, you know what? This will not overshadow what you said in the very beginning. That's what we cannot forget about. The earlier statements are the best ones. In the case of Sebastian Rogers, the early statements let us know what happened to him. The later ones, they get adjusted. They get better at what they do. Even if they're not the brightest lights in the sky, they have people who are smarter than them, advising them. So whatever Daniel will come up with now, whatever he's going to say, whatever he's going to do, never forget. Never forget what he's already told us. Let's see if I missed anything.
Investigation, Jack and Lily's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature. More
Oh my God. Jack had black eyes all the time. Lily had a black eye the day before the disappearance. He is a rug user, admitted, right? I think.
Polygraphs were administered in June to the children's biological father, and he passed.
And can't even get them for neglect?
But when police attempted the same
And that's also, Malaya, why did she point the fingers at Cody, who she knew wanted nothing to do with her or the children? Sadly, but that's the reality.
test on the children's step-grandmother, they found the test ineffective. I'm quoting again. Her physiology was not...
So, in these cases, they should, before they take the examination, already say this woman has very high blood pressure, she's on medication, she's babbling, she's whatever, hysterical, she's a dumbass, whatever. I cannot, it's better we don't do this. You don't do that, you don't take the examination and then later say, oh, by the way, yeah, it's probably, you don't like give it a try. When a good polygrapher figures that she is not fit to take this examination right now, then you don't take it. What I want to know is what were the results of Janie's polygraph? Did she fail or was it inconclusive? Because she may actually be the weakest link. Daniel was well prepared. Daniel was nervous. He was extremely scared. He even told us that. And fear is something that the polygraph should register. But when you are even expressing fear during the control questions, then that is your baseline. And maybe there is not much of a difference within those questions. That were, by the way, and I said it before, did you kill Jack and Lily is the wrong question to ask. Did you kill Lily? Did you kill Jack? That would be the right way to go about it. So this is my way of slowly getting back into it despite this major setback. And I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming like that. Let's say it like that. And I have not seen such a turnaround from Lindsay's first article to the second one. They wanted her to be the one publishing this nonsense, this one-sided nonsense. I'm still not sure. Did Justin take a polygraph? I don't even want to look at this article, man. Oh my God.
not suitable for analysis, and an opinion on the polygraph examination was not rendered. End quote.
Right. In other words, she failed, but she didn't officially fail. In my opinion, she is the weakest. Janie is the weakest link, because unlike Daniel, who he was nervous, he had like kind of like I compared to stage fright, where stage fright can be a good thing. It means that you become really, really focused, and then when it's time to go, you're ready to go, and you ace it. In the case of Janie, I think she is so self-righteous and so she didn't feel the need to prepare herself for this. She's just a chaotic old woman, and yeah, I think she flunked. Again, everything I'm stating is my opinion only. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Looks like a nice picture here. Let's see.
The documents also confirmed police found Lily's blanket about a kilometer away from the house a day after the disappearance, but a sniffer dog couldn't pick up any scents around it.
Yeah, because I believe the wind may have blown it there that night, right? Oh my God, is there something happening with baby Emmanuel? I'm just looking at this now. I'll be back, guys. Thank you for watching.